Hello, my name is Tendai Manombo, and this is Info, your weekly news in 4 minutes. A handful of retailers are now rejecting the use of the Zimbabwe dollar to purchase specific products like orange crush juice, sugar, milk, and cooking oil. This is a clear reminiscence of the build-up to dollarization in 2009, when economic agents began to reject the local currency in favor of foreign currency. Currently, $1 is costing an average of 750 Zim dollars in these alternative markets, more than 90% higher than the interbank rate of 380 Zim dollars. The government recently announced that all US dollar transactions settled in Zim dollars must not exceed the interbank rate plus a 10% margin. This clearly shows that it is no longer profitable for corporates to operate in Zim dollars, but rather they should charge exclusively in US dollars to avoid massive exchange rate losses. However, this affects the ordinary citizen, particularly civil servants, who are largely paid in the fragile local currency. As such, this justifies the calls by labor unions that government should pay them entirely in forex or at least increase the US dollar component of their salaries. Article 26 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights emphasizes the importance of free education in at least the foundational and elementary stages, and that it should be compulsory. The realization of the right to basic education in the current Zimbabwean context places urgent demands on the state to address the existing inequality and inadequacy of access to education. Hence, the government has announced that from 2023 onwards, basic education shall be free, with the initiative set to start with children from underprivileged communities. According to authorities, the decision comes after an extensive nationwide 3-year feasibility study covering 20 public schools, 2 per province. The study sought to classify public schools by location and learners' level of need. While this is a welcome development as it will increase children's access to education as required by the Constitution, it remains to be seen if government will have adequate resources for this initiative. Currently, the government is failing to pay for all vulnerable students under the Basic Education Assistance Module Scheme, popularly known as BEAM, despite setting funds for the same in the annual fiscal budgets. Unsustainable extraction and exportation of raw granite rocks from Mutoko has been at the center stage of civil society organizations' discourse for decades without positive government feedback. However, in a commendable turn of tables, the government has banned the exportation of unprocessed granite through Statutory Instrument 127 of 2022. Also, SI 127 posits that all pre-existing valid contracts for the export of unprocessed granite will be allowed to continue until they expire. All those who contravene or fail to comply with SI 127 shall be guilty of an offense and face a hefty fine not exceeding level 9, or twice the value of the base mineral, or a term of imprisonment not exceeding 2 years. This ban will help to increase revenue flows to the cash-strapped government and reduce the exportation of jobs abroad. However, there is also need for government to ensure that miners embrace sustainable mining, which reduces environmental degradation. The appointment of Abigail Millicent Mohadi Ambrose as the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission Commissioner makes Zimbabweans skeptical about ZEC impartiality and independence, and also disregards good governance and morality. This is because Abigail is a daughter of Kembo Mohadi, ZANU-PF's second secretary and former vice president of the Second Republic, which brings to light vested interests. The appointment makes ZEC an appendage of ZANU-PF and testifies to the allegation of the partisan affiliation of ZEC. The current pseudo-electoral reforms reaffirm the priority of self-interest over morality. Reflections from a realistic perspective show that the ruling party tries to increase its power and engage its power balancing to deter opposition parties to participate in a free and fair election. The disregard for the principle of an independent electoral commission creates a fecund ground for disputable electoral results. This brings us to the end of our bulletin. Please join us once again next week.